Hey guys, this is Jeremy with Southern Splash Pool Supply, and today I'm going to talk to you about the three different filter types and the applications for each one. The three main filter types that we have are sand filters, cartridge filters, and DE or diatomaceous earth filters, and both have their applications and their best uses. So sand filters are the first filter system that I want to talk about, and it really is just sand inside a large filter tank, usually number 20 silica, which is about 45 to 55 millimeters per grain. Now, the biggest pro to sand filters is that they're very low maintenance. Generally, you only have to open up the tank body every 5 years or so to replace the sand itself. But the trade-off for something like this is that it filters small particles down to about 100 microns, or about 0.003 inches. So still very small, but compared to either a cartridge filter, which goes down to about 20 microns, or a DE filter, which is down to about 5, it is the system that is best for when when it doesn't quite matter as much if you get the smallest particles. So generally what I would say is that sand filters are best when you're trying to use it for, say, a fountain that may not see a lot of use by people and where it's not quite as important to get the smallest particles. So the second filter medium that I want to talk about is cartridge filters. Now, cartridge filters are kind of the middle child. They don't filter quite as efficiently as DE filters, but they will catch particles much smaller than sand filters. Now, the nice thing about cartridge filters is that they're very reasonably priced, and as such, you usually find them on, say, spas or smaller above-ground pools. The way the cartridge filters works is that they have these pleats. So this is a 100 square foot cartridge filter, but it doesn't look like 100 square feet, but the pleats that make up inside get it up to 100 square feet. Now, the drawback to this is that you periodically have to take out the cartridge and clean it manually. Some people even take it to the car wash and use the high pressure nozzles, but that's not a great idea because you can tear the grids. Another kind of drawback to the cartridge filters is that they don't have a tendency to last very long. Some people will say you can get 3 to 5 years out of a cartridge. I would say that you're more likely to get 1 to 2 years out of a cartridge, especially in Florida, where we are, where the season for swimming is a lot longer, and the heat and rains that we get in the summer do a lot to prematurely age the cartridge filter. So DE, or diatomaceous earth filters, is the last type of system that I'd like to talk about. The biggest pro about DE filters is that they filter the smallest particles 3 to 5 microns across, and that's way smaller than what the human eye can see. The cons, though, is it's generally the most labor intensive. For these, you have to add the diatomaceous earth powder, which in its powdered form is a health hazard. When you're applying it, you definitely do not want to breathe in the fumes from it. But once it's dissolved in water, it's perfectly safe. You also have to backwash periodically to rinse some of the DE off and add new ones on. You'll mostly find these in applications where you have higher traffic, or especially commercial applications where they'll have giant tanks of DE grids.